The Lakers weren't supposed to be here. Nobody, not even their most optimistic fans, imagined this kind of start. With LeBron James sidelined, Luka Doncic missing time, and Austin Reaves taking nights off, this should have been a struggle for survival, not a story of dominance. Yet somehow, they sit at 6-2, boasting one of the best records in the league. It doesn't even make sense on paper. Every logical prediction said they'd stumble, but logic doesn't account for heart, resilience, and the rare chemistry that has quietly transformed this team into something far more dangerous than anyone expected. When Luka went down, panic spread quickly. It wasn't just about losing a superstar. It was about losing their anchor, their playmaker, their heartbeat. Without LeBron and Luka, most believed the Lakers would crumble under the pressure, but Austin Reaves had other plans. On the road in Sacramento, under the bright lights and louder doubts, he put on one of the most sensational performances of his young career. 51 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. He orchestrated every possession like a maestro conducting a masterpiece. He didn't just fill the void, he created his own rhythm. He attacked mismatches, controlled the tempo, found his teammates in stride, and punished defenders who dared to underestimate him. It was the kind of performance that flips entire narratives overnight. Suddenly, what was supposed to be a disaster became a revelation. Maybe this team didn't need to lean entirely on its stars. Maybe the Lakers were actually built for more. That single night changed everything. What was once a shaky period without LeBron or Luka became a stretch of surprising brilliance. And when most thought Reaves' 51-point eruption was an anomaly, a rare outburst from a role player, he came right back with another explosion. 41 points against Portland, this time in a losing effort, but the performance left no doubt. The Lakers might have been sloppy and inefficient, turning the ball over more than 20 times, but Reaves was immaculate. His confidence wasn't a phase. It was evolution in real time. He wasn't just having a hot streak. He was becoming the Lakers' engine. Then came the test against Minnesota. No LeBron, no Luka, and even Anthony Edwards out for the Timberwolves. On paper, it was a battle between two depleted rosters, but only one team played like they refused to use that as an excuse. Reaves again took control. 28 points, 16 assists, and composure that made him look like a seasoned veteran rather than a rising star. He dismantled one of the best defenses in basketball, calmly dictating pace, reading rotations, and delivering clutch shots when it mattered most, including a game-winning floater over Rudy Gobert at the buzzer. It was the kind of shot that separates good players from leaders, and that moment solidified him as someone the Lakers could rely on when everything's on the line. By the time Luka returned, the team wasn't limping, they were thriving. And instead of disrupting their rhythm, Luka amplified it. He walked right back into the lineup and immediately dropped 44 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. It was a masterclass in control and scoring precision, showing the league that his absence hadn't slowed him down one bit. In fact, it pushed him further. Luka was now in full MVP mode, joining Wilt Chamberlain in the record books with one of the most dominant offensive starts in NBA history. The Lakers weren't just surviving anymore, they were evolving into something balanced, dangerous, and shockingly efficient. Their chemistry was undeniable. Marcus Smart's return gave them grit and a defensive identity they lacked last season. His presence changed the tone of every game, diving for loose balls, taking charges, barking instructions. Jackson Hayes emerged as a legitimate rim protector, flying around with purpose and aggression. Jake LaRavia, the quiet newcomer, became the glue guy every great team needs, spacing the floor, hitting timely shots, and defending multiple positions. This wasn't luck or coincidence. The Lakers had finally found an identity that didn't revolve. Around one man, they were functioning, like a complete unit. But the true measure of depth came when both Luka and Reaves sat out on the second night of a back-to-back. Against Portland, a team that had already beaten them, it looked like a scheduled loss. Yet somehow, they pulled off another improbable win. DeAndre Ayton, once discarded by Portland, dropped 29 points and 10 rebounds in a cathartic revenge game. Rui Hachimura continued his silent dominance with 28 points on near-perfect shooting, showing that his mid-range game might be one of the most consistent weapons in basketball. And the surprises didn't stop there. Rookie Nick Smith Jr. exploded for 25 points, and Bronny James delivered his best performance yet, dishing out 6 assists without a single turnover. He looked poised, confident, and ready. The Lakers didn't just win. They looked like they belonged, even without their stars. That win symbolized everything about this team. It wasn't about luck. It was about structure, belief, and the kind of system that makes everyone better. JJ Redick's system has the team moving in perfect rhythm. Smart spacing, sharp passing, everyone understanding their role. Through 8 games, despite injuries and constant lineup changes, they sit comfortably near the top of the Western Conference. And here's the kicker. They haven't had LeBron James for a single minute. LeBron's return looms large, not just as a comeback story, but as the potential key that unlocks the next level of this team. The Lakers' biggest weaknesses, turnovers and rebounding, are 2 areas where LeBron's IQ and physicality can instantly make a difference. Even at 41, he remains one of the league's sharpest playmakers and most reliable rebounders. Pairing his vision with Luka's offensive genius is a nightmare scenario for opponents. When one rests, the other orchestrates. When they share the floor, defenses have no safe option. Double one and the other picks you apart. It's the kind of dynamic that championship teams are built around. The supporting cast only strengthens that case. Marcus Smart has become the emotional core of the locker room. Jackson Hayes is playing the best basketball of his career. LaRavia is emerging as a hidden gem. Even the bench has shown flashes of brilliance. For the first time in years, the Lakers look deep, adaptable, and dangerous. They can win ugly, they can win fast, they can win without their stars. And that's the hallmark of a real contender. Still, uncertainty lingers. LeBron's sciatica isn't a minor concern. At his age, nerve pain radiating down the leg is a serious issue that could limit his explosiveness and mobility. It's not the kind of injury that vanishes in weeks. It requires management, rest, and patience. The question is, can the Lakers maintain this rhythm without burning out their roster before he returns? Because if he comes back healthy, the sky's the limit. But if not, their ceiling might flatten. Right now, though, this doesn't feel like a fluke. The Lakers aren't just catching lucky breaks. They're revealing depth, discipline, and genuine growth. Luka is playing like an MVP, Austin Reaves is becoming a star in his own right, and the young core is finally finding confidence. It's no longer about survival, it's about dominance. And as the league watches in disbelief, one thing has become clear. This version of the Lakers might be something truly special. Whether they can sustain it through the grind of an 82-game season remains to be seen, but if they do, they won't just be a feel-good story, they'll be a legitimate threat to everyone standing in their way. So, what do you think? Are the Lakers for real this time, or is this just another temporary spark? Can Luka and LeBron coexist and elevate this team to championship glory, or will injuries and chemistry eventually catch up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next deep dive into the biggest stories in basketball.